motivation, easy. Easy. Monday, 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 motivation.
Welcome everybody to Easy Monday Motivation. It's your host E, along with my co-host CT and Johnny Malish. How are you guys doing today?
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Oh man, hey, what is up? Today is a beautiful Monday after a wonderful holiday weekend.
Thankful to be here with y'all. Thankful to be here, right?
I am thankful and grateful to be here with you
Yes.
both. This past week gave us the opportunity to spend time with family, loved ones, and do something that I love to do. Spend time around a meal and really connect, right? Because last week was Thanksgiving. And for all of those that celebrated with their family, we wanted to take time out today and really dig into being thankful and grateful. Because we had that opportunity to share with our family last week, we're going to share with this family this week. So if you are tuning in, if you have tuned in previously last week, we did let you know that we would be working and talking with the guests today. So if you are on, please go ahead and shot your likes, put your comments in. We want to hear from you. We want to interact with you. We want to play with you today. But I would not be doing my thing if I didn't come here and talk to my wonderful folks, the crew that makes this happen. So I got to check in. We got to do our weekly check-in. So I'm going to check in with you first, Johnny Malish. How was your week? How was your Thanksgiving? Tell me what's been going on.
Oh man, I grew up where holidays was a big deal because it was all about family. I come from a pretty nice sized family. It's all about family. And this Thanksgiving was very reminiscent of that. So I am in a complete stage of just gratitude because it was just such a beautiful holiday.
That's awesome. Hello. Family in the house. Thank you for being here. CT. Well, first I'm going to check on you and see how your week was, how your Thanksgiving was, because, I need to know how your gobble was. How was your Thanksgiving?
Man, listen, I love Thanksgiving. It's that time of year where, we don't just get to give thanks, but we get a chance to do that with family and friends. And it is the kickoff to what is my and my wife's wedding anniversary. We will celebrate 25 years marriage game on Tuesday. It's the 28th. And so always love this time of year because it brings up some of the most amazing memories we have ever had, and most specifically the most significant decision I've ever made other than accepting Jesus into my life. It was marrying Melanie. So this whole season, this whole time is like the very best for me. So
oh my God.
Oh, shout out to
hey baby.
Hey Mel. Hey, happy anniversary early.
Happy
That's
anniversary.
what I'm talking about. Turn up for the anniversary. It's time to turn up for the anniversary.
Can we ask what the secret is before we move on? Can we ask what the secret is? That's a long
25
time.
years. I mean, y'all done put in a quarter, man. Tell me the secret. I mean, I'm out here struggling just to put a penny to my name. Y'all done did a quarter. What's going on?
Listen, there's too much. There's not enough time to give it the full answer, but I will give you these two things. Number one, she is my best friend on the planet. We know how to do life together. It is without question. And it's sometimes to our detriment. Like, we love doing things with each other. And so if you don't enjoy that, then you will struggle. And then the number two, and it's equally as important, but I would say God is at the center of our marriage. And marriage is work. Marriage is hard. And if we did not have God, I don't know that we could make it, or anybody could make it for a day. And so the fact that we've been able to endure through the 25, through the ups and downs, the rights and wrongs, the goods and bads, the kids, we are in a sweet spot, and loving the life that we're living, and that we're able to do it together with God's help. So
I love it.
That is beautiful. Special shout out. Hold on. I got to do this because this is just.
Get to stump me.
Awesome.
You guys are awesome. You make me feel. You make me filled with hope. And today, you also owe me a little something, a little something, because of some things that transpired this past weekend. So I'm gonna ask you to flip your and there's a song that you owe us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the pod, I want to let you know today that it is both a sad and joyous day, because we're joyous because Christopher keeps his commitments and his promises, and we're sad because Christopher has to do something that all Ohio State Buckeye fans would rather not do. The gentleman who is behind the scenes, the producer, they spell his name with one M. We use two M's, but the M he wants us to focus on today is the University of, and I have to say the name, Michigan. What we agreed on, oh, and there's the spotlight. I was just waiting for that. What we agreed on is that I would do a version of their fight song, and so here's the best I think I can do. Okay, I got it. I think I got it.
You ain't choked up. You ain't choked up.
Here we go. I hate this so much. All right, here we go. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go Blue!
All right.
For our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, thank you, CT. Thank you for being who you are. That was big of you. I mean, because we know that it does take a lot to be able to put down your fandom. No.
And I'm not motivated, but it is Monday. I'm just saying, all of those working together for Monday.
So Johnny, the funny thing is, like, I'm listening to it, singing, and there were certain words that just rung clear to me. Yeah,
like in the wintertime. That's what happens in the wintertime.
That's exactly what I'm like, all right, so we got that out of the way. I'm glad that you knocked that out of the park. That was beautiful. Just know that we're going to try our best to make sure that the exposure of that video is limited to all of the people who tuned into the episode, which we're hoping is millions at some point.
There we go.
You got people lose their cards for certain things. I'm praying grace that comes as an Ohio State Buckeye fan based upon what just happened, because I know they would have wanted me to keep my commitment. So
no, you ain't gonna lose your card. Now you actually earned your Buckeye card by being a stand-up Buckeye fan instead of being somebody who backed away from their commitments because they were sore losers. So yes. So hats off to both teams actually for a excellent game, because it wasn't a blowout, right? It was an actual competition. So both teams brought it, and it came down to a decision. It was still under 7 points, so you know we can play the sympathy game, both sides. So I'm not a real fan of sports because I don't deal with the toxic aspect of it, but you guys actually give me hope, so I'll tune into some games now. All right, so with that said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into today's segment, because today's episode is about being, number one, thankful. We are thankful, and we want to carry forward the message of being thankful. Mm-hmm. So last week, like I said, we talked to the audience and let them know we would be coming to them and wanting to hear from them what they're thankful about. But we're going to start this off by telling our own stories of being thankful and grateful, and then we're going to play a little game. So I'm going to go first today, which I typically don't. To kind of set the stage, and then I'll come to you, CT, then we'll come to you, Johnny, and then we'll play the game, okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so one of the things that I am most thankful for, that I've been thankful for a long time, is the fact that I'm a father. And my sons, my two sons, I have a 23-year-old and a 17-year-old, they make me feel so young. and they keep me so grounded in who I want to be for them. I am thankful for the idea that I have to be a good man to raise good kids. My sons need good examples. I'm thankful for the fact that I had these children and their lights are so bright that all of the shadows and doubts that I had in my life of not being a good parent, I couldn't hold on to. I had to let all those things go to focus on being the best for them. And the conversations that I have with them today at 17 and 23 are so phenomenal because they're men that I'm talking to.
Mm.
And I raised them. I am grateful for being able to raise two great men who are going to go out and do great things in the world. That is something in the core of me that the moment that I found out I was going to have a kid at 20 years old, that I worried about, and I improved upon it, and it has bore its fruit, and I am very thankful. My 23-year-old, he's working on himself, keeping things together as a young man who chose to go into the workforce, and my 17-year-old is already set with a full scholarship to the university of his choice for the program for IT that he's chosen to do.
Nice.
I am grateful for the work that they have done to be who they have chose to be with me in mind. So I wanted to start there.
That's
just
good.
to show like that shaped me. Because if I didn't have the kids that I have and didn't see myself the way I needed to, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I am very grateful for being a father and allowing it and the struggles of it and all of it. We all know it's not all great. It tempered me and made me hard. It made me still and made me reserved in myself to know that I have to be the best Eric because my son needs the best Eric and my other son needs the best Eric, and my commitment to them is my legacy. And they will be able to carry that forward, and they're going to be able to tell those stories, and I don't have to worry about them because I did the work. So I'm gonna pass it over to you, CT, and then we're gonna go to Johnny. What are you thankful or grateful for?
Man, such an amazing conversation this is, because the list is endless.
Mhm.
And I don't want to echo like what you said. I think the question that you asked me at the beginning, I am most thankful for my family. I think I shared with you, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm just overwhelmed by the idea that God would trust me with these amazing humans to be in their lives, to be a provider, even though he's the provider. I'm just a tool and a resource that he uses, and that we've been able to do some things with our lives that allow me to look at Christian, Caleb, and Kennedy with great pride and great admiration. And it doesn't mean that they're perfect or we were perfect. What it means to me, though, is that when I see them, I see God's grace, I see God's love, I see God's forgiveness. When I look at them, I'm thankful that they are pursuing their lives. And even though they would tell you they aren't exactly where they want to be, and I would tell them that's okay. I was reading something today about the ages of people who started things, and I was encouraged that I still got time. So I'm thankful that I still got time. That even if I don't think I've achieved or reached the things that I would want to in my personal life, there are some things that I'm really grateful for. But the most thankful, most grateful thing are the people that I call family, or we refer to as the Thompson Five. We've got a plus one. His name is Dietrich. He's our son too, and adore him like no other. And so it's why I get up every day. It's why I'm motivated. If you've ever seen my slides when I talk about the things that are my why and my priority, they are people that I call my direct family, and I would not trade them for the world.
That is beautiful.
I love that.
I love that. I absolutely do. Johnny, my liege, I got to come to you. What are you grateful or thankful for?
Hey, oh my gosh. I'm really sitting in everything that the both of you just said. So that was really great. When I think about gratitude, well, first of all, y'all, when you said CT, you mentioned a list. Like I wrote out a list, and it's like pages.
Yeah.
Like a page, pages of like I created a list of things that I am truly grateful for. But when I look at that list, it brings me back to self-awareness
Mm.
because you know, you both mentioned your kids and your families, and for me it's the same thing, but at the even before all of that, it really is self-awareness because I remember being on a journey and like I don't know, I was just going through some things, y'all, growing up, maturing. And when I became more aware of myself and my emotions, it allowed me to be a better wife, a
Mm.
better mother, understand what it feels like to me when I hear God's voice telling me to move and to do something. And so it all kind of starts with understanding myself. And when I'm able to do that, I can respond better to my children. I can respond better to my parents, my siblings, and all of that. So right now, I think I'm just super grateful for self-awareness because it has created better relationships in my life. When I became better, things around me became a little bit better,
Yeah.
right? Because I was a little bit more clear on who I was. And so that's really what I'm grateful for right now.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Self-awareness is a great thing to be grateful for because of the conduct that you now exhibit
Yeah.
because of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear you clearly. Like, I changed who I needed to be for them, who I prioritized because I
Yeah.
was aware of me. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I prioritize myself and getting
Yeah.
That's good.
better and growing because of the people that I was surrounded by. They deserved a better version of me. And
Yeah.
so that's why I'm so grateful for self-awareness. And so
But how did you,
in
Johnny?
practice,
How did you know? How did you know you needed to be a better version of you? How'd you know?
You did say something about being in a dark place. Is that the reflection? The time of
yeah, I think
reflection?
so. It was more, it was the way that they responded to the way I was responding, you know?
No,
I could
yeah.
tell that our relationships were out of sync. And you
Yeah.
know what? I'll say this, CT, I'm so glad you asked this, both of you. I remember my daughter said to me, my oldest daughter, and she says, you know, Mom, I feel like if we continue, and she was like 13, if we continue like this, like we won't have a good relationship. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I got some work to do. I have some serious work to do, right? Because the relationship I have with them is everything. You know,
Yeah.
you all know your parents. So you all know what that's about. And so it just reminded me that I needed to continue to work on that. And it's an everyday practice. Things come up, life happens, but that's why I'm so grateful for it because everything around me began to change when I started to work on me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what's hey, what up, hey, what up? Hey, how's it going? We got Brandy in the house. I love that. I love that. I love that we're all very grounded in our families, in our understanding of ourselves and the way we impact those people and who we need to be for them. So I mean, I think that was one of the common threads between all three of us. Like we acknowledge who we need to be, when we need to be, for who we need to be. And by doing so, we understand that we are moving with gratitude and thankfulness for the people we care for.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't be doing these things if we didn't.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be so consistent and dead set on providing in the ways that we're doing it to make sure that they have what they need if we weren't so appreciative of the people that we're taking care of. So I'm in lockstep with you guys. Now,
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna come to the chat and we're gonna check on the chat. I know we had some hellos and heys and happy anniversaries because we're gonna double down on CT and Mel's happy anniversary. We're gonna do that for probably the next month. Happy anniversary.
It's
I
your
love it.
anniversary.
Ah, yes, we're gonna do that. All right. Well, we are proud of you. I know you're up at like 4 a.m. going working out here, Brandy. Yeah, I'll be seeing the Instagram posts. You be like, girl, listen, I'm not paying attention how many steps you got, and I'm paying to the fact it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just playing. So we do want to come to you guys, and I'm just going to pose a question, and you're allowed to just respond in the chat as best as you can. It can be a little blurb or whatever, but we just want to know what you are grateful for and who you are grateful for. And if you make that comment in the chat of what you're grateful for and who you are grateful for, we're going to go ahead and read it, and then we'll probably try to have a little dialogue with you. But while we're waiting on you guys to do that, we're going to play a little bit of a game while we build up some of that with you guys. So
I'm nervous.
I told the guys before the show that we're going to play a game, and it's a game of gratitude, right? And we want to talk about some of the virtues that people exhibit that we're grateful for, and who those people in your life are that exhibit those virtues. So I'm gonna ring off 7 virtues, and then I'm gonna let CT or Johnny choose whatever virtue they want, and then they're gonna talk about the person who exhibits those virtues and how they're grateful for that person. So we have humility, we have charity, of course we have chastity, we have gratitude, we have temperance, we have patience, and we have diligence. So I'm gonna read them off again. We have humility, we have charity, we have chastity, we have gratitude, we have temperance, we have patience, and then we have diligence. So, who in your life would you say exhibits one of these virtues? How do they exhibit those virtues? And why are you grateful for them? Who wants to take this first?
Well, I'm gonna do.
Okay, I have one
First.
more.
Put that back up there. Put it back up there. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. That
Oh,
first
come on,
one. There we
come
go.
on.
Say it with your chest, Mel. There you go. All right. She's
I'm
grateful
not
for her
upset at
man.
all.
I'm loving that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Look at that.
I am the chocolate drop. Yes.
That would be you.
Hey,
I know
hey,
that's right.
Cam, you already know what to do. I need that tagline. CT the chocolate drop.
Yes.
I'm grateful
Yes.
for health and wholeness of my children and parents.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. This is
I
beautiful.
love that, Mel.
Mel, I mean, we're gonna come to you on that too, because I'm gonna press down a little bit to try to understand a little bit more. How do you show the gratefulness for said health and said for wholeness of your children and parents? Like, what do you do to show that? And it could be a one-word answer, it can be a multiple, but I want you to think about that and give us that response. So who wants to take the virtue and who is the champion of it? Who got it?
I'll go.
And we're gonna let Chocolate Drop relax a little bit.
I'm still responding.
Yeah, he was like,
You got him off his game, Mel. He ready now.
It says CT the chocolate drop. We gotta watch out now.
The chocolate drop.
I love it.
Okay, so the first thing, patience.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna go with patience right now. I'm gonna have to say my dad.
Okay.
My mom may not agree because they've been married over 50 years. So she's probably like, please, patience, please. But yeah, my dad, for sure. So he is probably the best listener that I know, and he's always shown extreme patience with me. And we've had some very deep conversations, put it like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's the person I can talk to. If I go home, we're talking till the sun comes up in the morning because we're talking so much about different things. And now that I'm a parent, looking back at that, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, he was probably like, oh my God, the things that this girl is telling me is like, okay. But he just knew that listening, being patient, and understanding was the way to get to me, right? Was the way to really continue to nurture that relationship. So I'm gonna have to say my dad on that one.
I like that. That and patience, and so grateful for the conversations and the knowledge and wisdom. I love that. Okay. All right, CT.
So I think when I think about
I knew it. I knew it. That's why I didn't even go. Just
I'm
let
gonna,
you
I'm
dig.
gonna listen to
love
you. I'm not
Cam.
gonna read.
I
I'm just
love
gonna
Cam.
listen.
No, it's good. I think I was thinking about humility,
Yeah.
right? Humility. There's a very good friend of mine. He is Michael Adams, and Michael Adams and I have known each other for 20 plus years. And when I tell you that this man takes time to give so freely of himself in ways that the average person, in my opinion, would not consider. And he's humble in the way that he does not think of himself first. He is always considering, what can I do for others? How can I be there for others? And one of the things that, or one of the ways it shows up, is that if something happens right in somebody else's life, he will be the first person, even if he doesn't know them, doesn't have deep relationship with them. He will send a prayer up for them. He will send a message to them. He will check in on them, and he doesn't have to have a relationship for that attribute, that virtue to show up through his life. And it is one of the things that I have always admired about him as a human person, is that he shows up in the most humble way possible. Now we have fun, and we can jab at each other once in a while, but when it comes to just how he treats other people, like, that virtue stands out. And Michael Adams is the person that came to my mind with it.
I like that. I like that. Shout out. We need more Mike Adams in our lives. You know what I mean? We really do. People who are just willing to be humble and exude humility in everything they do. It's just, you could be the person really taking care of everything, but nobody needs to know that because you're doing it from the right place. It's amazing. Okay, so for me, I am choosing diligence because I have a friend who is the model of work. I mean, he worked hard in high school. He works hard playing football. He worked hard through all adversity. I watched him have to deal with the fact that he found out he was adopted later in life, and he had to work through that, through the trauma of thinking like, my family didn't want me, or I'm not related to this family that I feel I'm connected to. I watched him work through that. I watched this man work 2 full-time jobs, right? Like full-time jobs at the same time. I'm like, I've watched this man do so much work. I watch him work like we've worked out, like the physical aspect of work too. Like, this is somebody who you can tell has put in work. And the way that he solves situations is by putting in the work. There's not been one. I mean, the dude graduated from college and he's like, I need to go back and go get this degree. I need to go back and get this certificate. I need to go back. He kept finding more things to work at, which is why when I think of the virtue of diligence, of doing the work, he's the first person that comes to mind. My friend Daniel, who is probably one of the hardest working people that I've ever met in my life. And I'll be honest, for no reason sometimes too. It's like, you don't even have to do that, but because he's just such a workhorse type person.
Yeah.
He's just gonna put in that work.
Yeah.
And he ain't got no problem with it, right? So he's not complaining and nothing. Like, he's not. There's nothing negative about the work he has to do. He sees clearly his goal, his focus, and he's willing to put in that work. So diligence is my virtue, and my friend Daniel, I'm grateful for, because he showed. I wouldn't even be working with y'all if it wasn't for him. If I'm being all the way honest, because he was like, he saw my work ethic and was like, you need to be working here. He's like, your work will get further here than it would be where you're at. So let's put this work here. And let me tell you, and that's how we did it. So we made it work. All right.
Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Johnny's dad.
Johnny's dad.
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. So I'm going to come to the chat and I want to read Miss Alicia's. So I'm grateful that I experienced true love and an amazing marriage to my soulmate. Now, I'm gonna press down on that now. Okay, so amazing marriage and true love. Oh man, now you go do tell. Like, what makes you so? I mean, I would be grateful for true love in a marriage. Like, all right, so I mean, I have to ask, what was the wildest thing that was at your wedding? Because like, if you didn't have a chimpanzee or something, like, I'm gonna be like an amazing marriage. I'm like, please, like, make sure that when you got married, you had some sort of circus animal there, because that's how I recognize like amazing in marriages. Because my cousin invited me to his wedding, and listen, they had ringling circus, they had like belly dancers and flaming cakes. So I was like, huh?
That wasn't a wedding. That's not a wedding. That was
a wedding. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, he said no.
It was amazing. All right. Okay. So also for your family in the village and growing up in a small town surrounded by your whole family. That's beautiful.
Shout out to Mansfield.
That's beautiful.
Shout out to Mansfield.
We got all of Mansfield. We got all of Mansfield right here, right? I'm just
right, the two of us.
hold it down. All of Mansfield right here. That's a beautiful. I said that was a certain yes. It was amazing. I even had to perform, and we had actors and actresses there because my cousins and them kind of like people, and I'm like, okay, we gotta really perform in front of these people. Like, they're really people. I don't want to perform in front of these people. So yeah, it got crazy. Let's go to Mrs. B's. All right, she says she's grateful for the nose. All right, gotta love the nose now, and make your nose mean no and your yes mean yes.
Yes.
First and always, God and His grace. Thank you. That's right. All shout out to God, because we all know we wouldn't be nowhere without God. My grandparents, family, husband, and kids, and I'm grateful for my truth tellers. There we go. Our truth tellers. Those people in your life that is not letting you go wrong.
I just had to start laughing because I'm telling you, there's nothing like a good truth teller. Oh my gosh,
because they're gonna pull up on you.
Like, listen, okay, what's the truth teller? Like, everybody talks about them like it's like language. It's like, Johnny, what's the truth teller? If you love them so much, tell me what a truth teller is to you.
Because they don't tell you necessarily what you want to hear. Like somebody who just disappeared, and like somebody who was just singing the Michigan fight song or whatever it's called. Like, you don't say just what you want to hear, right? What the person want to hear. You're gonna tell them the truth because you know you're doing it all in love so that the person can become better. My Uncle Mike used to always say, "You're not doing anyone any favors by not telling them the truth."
Yeah,
and I love that.
I would agree.
Tell them the truth. And can I just say this real quick? Telling the truth doesn't mean being rude, right? It's just being truthful.
So I mean, I'll even play around. I'm gonna tell the story, Johnny. I mean, not the full story, but I tell the truth tellers are people who will just look at you and know you.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. They know you. They've listened to you. They understand you, and they're really focused on, in those moments, the you said you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And they're not going to let you deviate from that person. They like, no, we talked about X.
Yeah.
So are you going to do X, or are you switching out? And then that truth telling, that truthful conversation of holding you accountable to who you say you want to be, and that person matter to you, is going to make you move different. Because you're not going to let the person who you care for and care about you watch you be careless or carefree when you ain't being careful. Okay, there we go.
Later on, Grandma got something to say about that.
Okay.
Y'all in the vein.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Yes. We do work in conjunction to try to hold everybody accountable. And yes, so B, you already know what it is. Though there's a pizza that you haven't ordered, but the new year is coming. All right, we're gonna go ahead, and I want to jump into a question for both of you before we go into what would Grandma do. This question is one that I thought about coming into Thanksgiving. There's a lot that you can be thankful for when you have a lot to be thankful for. But if you don't recognize what you should be thankful for, how would you show somebody? How would you show somebody or give examples of how they should be thankful? Because when we think about it, there's some people who are just entitled and ungrateful. So, and we deal with them. And you know, you just got to know that there's some people who just don't understand being thankful. And the tradition of being thankful that's associated to the holiday we just celebrated can be lost because it becomes just about a meal. It doesn't become about the fact that you're having that meal with people who matter. So the question I have to you guys is, how would you get somebody to understand how to be thankful? I'll come to you first, CT, and then we go to you, Johnny.
You want my real answer, or you want me to make something up?
I want your real answer because we in that mode. We there.
Okay, so real answer: you don't. You don't make anybody do anything.
Yeah.
And when we start thinking about like why this conversation is so important,
Mhm.
Johnny, I so honor your response about being self-aware. Because sometimes some people can be so entitled that they've lost sight of how, who, what, when, why, and where they got to where they are. And when you lose sight of all of that, you've lost sight of why you're here in the first place. And when you lose sight of why you're here in the first place, you can't absorb the ability to understand that being thankful is an action, right? Being thankful isn't, to me, let me say it that way, is an action. Being thankful isn't something I say, it's something that I actually do. And I show you through the actions that I produce, whether it is me sending you a text message because you crossed my heart. I'm thankful that you crossed my heart, so I sent you a message. Whether it is that I see someone, and again, people have different paradigms around this particular thought, but my wife and I have a thankfulness that we have money to spend on some things that others may not. And we do, because we recognize that tomorrow isn't promised. I'm going to save for tomorrow in case tomorrow shows up, but I'm not going to lose today. And I'm thankful because I have today. And if you've lost sight of the fact that today is not given, then you've missed what actions you're supposed to take in the context of the day that you're in. If I see somebody that's on the side of the road and I got some money and they need it, I'm going to give it to them. You know what I don't do? Look for reciprocity or try to figure out how I'm going to help them think about what they're going to do with that money.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exchange for me. I'm thankful, so I give. I'm thankful that I can give. And so to me, when I start thinking about the question, it's like, I don't make anybody do anything. What I do is put myself in a position so that my actions can allow me to be thankful, because I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm here and I don't have to be. I've got and I don't have to have. There's so much that could, as they say, I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave, and I'm not. And I'm thankful for that.
Yes. All right. All right. Now, Johnny, what you got to ask? Now, you know, there was a trick question and he answered it the way I knew it was going to come. But you got anything to add? I was like, dang it. Like, he's like, no. When he said no, I'm like, oh, here we go. I already know what's about to happen.
Where we're going. You know what was
said
that?
no. You can't do it. You just
There we
can't
go.
do it.
You're right, man. And that's exactly kind of what you explained to. Like, yes, we do model thankfulness and gratitude. So go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, I love what CT was talking about. Like, he really captured that showing gratitude, being grateful. It's about the actions and the things that you do. So I agree with him. Like, there's nothing I can do to make you, but what I can do is encourage you to take stock in what you do have and show some gratitude, right? I kind of think, and I don't know, maybe we'll talk about this a little bit before we end, but like I kind of think that when you're talking about being thankful, sometimes that's built on like happenstance. But when you're talking about gratitude, At times that means more of like a state of being, right? And you know, that phrase like attitude is gratitude or gratitude is attitude, whatever the phrase is, whatever. So silly, but it's true though, right? I think you have to take on the attitude. So in other words, it doesn't matter what is happening in your life, you have to live with a certain degree of gratitude, because life is going to throw some challenges your way. That's
Yeah.
just the way life is. Life, as they say, life be lifing, right?
Life be life.
It does. It definitely does. So then how are you going to show up? Right.
Yeah.
So you can find gratitude in all things, give thanks for all things. And that's what I would suggest to everyone. Again, we can't necessarily make them, but I will encourage them to be grateful for all the things, because they all work together for the good.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you both killed it. Hey, mama, how's it going? Got
Texas
caught
Red.
up
I don't know
in
what she's talking
Texas
about.
Red. What is Texas Red? Is that a TV show? Am I missing something?
I don't know what she's
Happy-
talking about.
Happiness versus joy. Now, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking
Yes.
about, Mel.
Yeah. I do like that. All right. Attitude of gratitude. That is true. You got to have an attitude of gratitude. All right. Okay. So, not only did we take time today to make sure that we were thankful and we shared what was thankful, we just went over what thankful looks like too. Like, we just gave the whole example of how to show gratitude and thankful. And you guys did that without even knowing that we were going to do that. So this is always fun. So we've made it to that time, and it's time to ask the question of, when it comes to being thankful, what would grandma do?
I love that you would bring grandma into this, because it is without question the most impactful thing that she provided to each of us, is this idea that because she was thankful, and at 97 years old, I'm thankful that she still has not just breath in her body, but she's still functioning and she's moving and maneuvering. And when I thought about what grandma might think about in the context of being thankful, that is our word. By the way, grandma did acronyms with our names to tell us how amazing we were. So I want to see if consider the idea that Johnny, I would refer to the two of you as friends. And I started thinking about, when I think about a friend, what are the attributes, the characteristics that come to my mind that I'm thankful for the friends that I have in my life? I am so pleased that earlier in our conversation, y'all raised the first T, and that is this idea that you've got a truth teller in your corner. Somebody that's going to talk to you in a way that's going to be impactful. No, that's going to shut you up if you need to know. That's going to love on you. No, it's all of this stuff. Like, a truth teller is going to give you truth in a way that you can handle it, in a way that allows you to understand that the true friend who's a truth teller is going to be H. And H stands for hot. There's a podcast I listen to, and he talks about this idea that hot is honest, open, and transparent. When you have a truth telling friend who is honest, open, and transparent, you can function into life knowing that you don't have to make a mistake. You can just make decisions. And then when you do something that somebody might say, hey, you could have done that a little differently, because you got that hot, open, and transparent truth teller, you know that when they show up, they're going to tell you the truth. And then you get to the A. You know what that A is? You actually learn how to apologize. Like, when you've got a real friend in your life and they tell you something that is wrong, it sets you up in a way that you're like, man, I'm sorry. I apologize that I didn't do that in the right way. And when you set yourself up with that apology, you now get to maneuver through life in a no nonsense kind of way that you're in, right? Where the hard things and the heavy things don't bother you the way that they used to, because you know that there is this forgiveness that lives inside of you, because you know how to apologize, because that hot, open, and transparent friend is telling you the truth. And when you do that in a no nonsense way, you know what that K represents? Kindness,
Mm.
That friend is kind, you are kind, and you are now giving back to the world in a way that allows us all to smile a little bit bigger, because I think kindness is king. And when kindness is king, that F, you have a whole lot of fun. Life becomes a whole lot more fun when you can have kindness interjected in the world. And then I have this phrase. There was a gentleman who wrote a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. One of his principles is seek first to the you understand, then to be understood. And when you have that thankful friend in your life, they both understand you and they give themselves time to make sure that you are understood. And they can do that with the L because they love you. And when they love you because you are now being understood by them and they understand you and you all are having fun together because there's kindness being pushed out into the world because you living in a no nonsense kind of way because you figured out I'm sorry is a good thing. So Johnny, if I've ever done anything wrong, I apologize. E, if I've ever done anything wrong, I apologize. Why? Because I've got some hot friends in my life. Those open, those transparent, truth tellers that help me know that that kind of friend helps me be thankful for every day that I've been given. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma.
Oh, thank you, Grandma.
Thank you, Grandma. Oh
you,
man,
Grandma.
so, yes, I love that. I love that. So that was awesome, and the word being thankful and allowing us to use what we're thankful for in friendship. That was just amazing. I do love that. Johnny, you know what time it is. Cam, can you throw it up there? Johnny, what you got?
It makes me laugh every time. I can't stand you.
Johnny, what you got?
I'm over here all in deep thought, thinking what Grandma do, and here y'all go.
Every time. Let's go.
It is the best segue, right? I told you the moment we thought about this, I was like, this is always going to be funny. Johnny, what you got?
Oh, man. Okay. Let me say this real quick. When you said apologize, that hit home because, I mentioned being self-aware. That was one of the lessons that I learned, like not being afraid to apologize. Or even when you are afraid or nervous about it because your ego gets in the way, just understanding what that does for the other person and yourself, like it helps build that relationship. And it's so not always an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Good Lord, it's not an easy thing to do. So I'm kind of sitting with that a little bit. But when we're talking about gratitude and being thankful, I just want to encourage all of us to have a practice around that. Make it a practice. And I love using that word practice because just like apology, it doesn't always come easy.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's something that we have to constantly work on depending on what stage of life we're in, what we're going through. I'll say this, our family kind of had a rough year for sure. We've experienced some losses. And so how do you find the gratitude in all of that? When things aren't going your way. Then we had some really big wins. And it's easy to be grateful and to find the gratitude and all of that. So in order to keep that sustained, it's a muscle you have to exercise and do it on a daily practice so that when it's not so in your face, like, yes, I'm grateful. Yes, I'm thankful. Everything is going right. You have some reserve to pull on. So find those things to develop a practice, whether it's journaling, meditating and praying. Y'all know I love me some yoga and walks outside in nature, listening to my podcast. But it allows me some time to just reflect on the things that I am really grateful for. So I just encourage all of us, anyone who's watching and listening, to develop a practice around that so that it can become something that is always there for you. Always, just like a toolbox, always ready for you to pull out of your toolbox when you need it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. All right. So I love how we have progressed into finding applicable ways to deliver the next steps. So Johnny, them gems that you got, because now the question has been answered. Johnny, what you got? She got them gems. She got them gems. Y'all better be prepared. Johnny got gems.
Somehow it
definitely,
always involves a walk outside. I don't know how my gyms always do that, but it does. I don't know.
I love it.
yeah, like, yeah. We're gonna go and we're gonna finger paint, and then we're gonna end up outside. Like,
Always.
with finger paints,
It's the
yes, yes.
answer, y'all.
Always. Always.
There's nothing wrong with that because you know how you have to get to your place to make
Yeah.
decisions is important. You know, everybody. Some people may need to sit in silence. Some people need to go outside. You know, but that self reflection to allow for the awareness to recognize that you are impacting someone else and that it is on you to effectively change the outcome of that interaction by being able to apologize and really take ownership of, you know, what you create. Like, man, that takes me back to the messy conversation. like we ain't gonna go all the way back, but yes, it does. It kind of reminds me of some of the subjects we talked about there. I will say that when it comes to being thankful, I agree with both of you that it is a practice, right? It is something you have to instill in yourself and execute. That but appreciation is the seeds of all thankfulness and gratitude, because when you appreciate things, then you can be grateful, then you can be thankful. So I would also like filter in a little bit of just overall appreciation for things. So, and we all see each other all the time, right? And one of the things about me that I think that is just apparent is like, I am always going to be happy and grateful and thankful because I got another second of breath.
Yeah.
Right. Like my mind still works. Like, you know, I can take care of the basics and those things. I'm not for worse for wear. My kids are in a good space. Like, I don't stress about life because life be lifing. And the fact that I'm still here lifing with it is enough for me to never be overburdened, to never be stressed or worried. And it ultimately leads to me waking up every day being grateful and thankful and full of joy. So I think today's podcast, as we wrap up this year and we think about the impact that we've had, we have to be thankful, right? Because guys, we lived through a pandemic and a lot of people haven't. We went through as much as we don't want to admit it, like we went through a little small recession, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, we still had to keep pushing forward, right? Like the world that we've lived in the last 10 years has changed. It's going to continue to change. And if we don't take time to appreciate the world that we have and the people we have with us in this world, then it's going to be really hard to continue every day and show the gratitude and thankfulness that we need to CT's grandma's point, really embrace the kindness in this world, that we need to have fun and understand each other with love. So, okay.
That's a beautiful way.
Yeah, I just like, all right, so we're going into our final thoughts. You know, we done got really thankful. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole tone of, listen, guys, the whole tone went down like this. We were like, yeah, you know, we're really DJs today. And, like that's how we got. Like typically, you know, I'm kind of like animated, and then all today it was just, yeah, you know, I'm really grateful. And like, I mean, I felt like we was gonna break out into an R&B song or something at some point. Like, and
But we couldn't do it together. We couldn't do it together.
Clearly because of CT.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that commercial to play because we did bad. Okay, just want you to know we did
Y'all
bad.
can only see. Wait till y'all see these.
Yeah, individually we did great. Yeah, we did great individually.
Collective group.
Yeah, maybe if we was in person, that might be easier. But I like the online lag and ping makes it hard. Like I think you speaking, but I can't tell. Like she froze.
There ain't no excuses.
Yeah, we sucked. We did terrible.
Y'all would be embarrassed.
But I'm still grateful for you all.
All right. All right,
Oh,
so I'm gonna come to you, CT. You got any final thoughts you want to share with everybody?
yeah, so listen, I think for me, again, this is one of those pods where every day I wake up and I say thank you to God. But as I thought about final thoughts, I wanted to read the words just basically from a song by Hezekiah Walker called Grateful. And he says, I'm grateful for the things that you've done. I'm grateful for the victories we've won. I could go on and on and on about your works because I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So grateful just to praise you, Lord. Flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart. It's gratefulness. And gratefulness is just the heart of how I feel about this experience that I have with each of you. And I mean y'all, the listeners, but more specifically with Cam, Johnny, and E, that that you would allow me into this space to just be me, you just be each of you, be each of you. I'm so grateful that we get to do this, and it is one of the very best things in my life. And so I am honored and I'm privileged to share, if you will, the microphone with each one of you all on Mondays to bring some kind of motivation to the people who would listen in. So I'm grateful for each one of you all, without question.
Thank you, CT. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got to do the radio voice. Thank you, CT. Thank you.
It's a thankful voice. That's a gratitude voice.
Shout out to my man CT, AKCT, the CD, the chocolate drop. We're gonna go ahead.
I was wondering if that was coming back up.
You know it was. CT, the CD out here, the chocolate drop out here. Shout out to Mel.
I know that's right. I ain't mad at it.
Hey, listen, I can't wait for the day somebody gonna be like, I married my amazing man, and he had chocolate drop. I'm a little caramel, but it's okay, honey. I'll let you slide. All right, Johnny, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the gratitude, CT, for sure. You know what? I just want us all to practice it. I know I've mentioned this already, but practice it, meaning let's be intentional with it.
Yes.
Okay, let's be intentional. Let's develop a practice where you carve out some time every day, every other day, whatever it looks like for you, and really take stock in the things that you are grateful for, because I guarantee it will change your perspective. You can't always change the things that are happening around you, but you can change your perspective of it. And so but we got to be active around it, right? We talked about that a little bit. So let's just put some intention behind it and some action behind it. And let's live gratitude out loud and not just let it be just a theory or something we talk about around Thanksgiving and around the holidays, but let it be an everyday practice.
That's great.
All right, I love it. All right, before we sign off, I'm going to go ahead and read our final chats. It looks like Mama Mary said Texas Red was a black cowboy. My history lesson on Prime Video. Okay.
Come on,
All right. All right, Mama.
Lessons.
I mean, I want to watch it now. And I'm grateful for Monday Night by there we go. Yes. Deliver us. Okay. All right. So I'm my final thoughts are, first and foremost, we are grateful to all of our followers, the listeners, the viewers, our fans. We're very grateful and thankful for you for supporting us in, this dream of ours that we're pushing forward. I want to go ahead and play a fun little video for you guys that Johnny My Liege put together. So my final thoughts are subscribe to the channel. And we're going to play a video that and let me go ahead and get that up, Cam. We're going to play a video Johnny made to show you how to do it.
Easy Monday motivation. Easy Monday motivation. Easy Monday motivation. Easy Monday motivation. Easy Monday.
Yes.
Look at all all those episodes you have to watch.
I know. Look at all of those guys. If you haven't subscribed, liked, or commented on any of our videos, they're sitting right here for you in our wonderful YouTube channel that is expressively made for you to be able to go back and watch the episodes you may not have seen, or rewatch episodes to see. Yes, rewatch episodes to hear some of the things that we may have dropped, rekindle some of the conversations that we've had amongst yourself. Come back, come challenge us, come push the buttons. We want to hear from you. So thank you, Johnny, for putting that together. That was amazing. And I, like that was so funny because like when I saw that, I was like, that's 100% Johnny. Because like I was like, that's 100% Johnny. I was like, I feel like I was
show somebody how to do something. Yeah.
right. I'm like, I felt like I was trained. Right? I've been thoroughly trained. I know. I'm like, I've been thoroughly trained on how to click some buttons.
Tutorial.
Right, she did. So we woke up this morning, y'all, and the first thing she had for us was, "This is how you subscribe." I'm like, "All right, then. This is why we putting this out today." Johnny ain't playing. Johnny, my leash. All right.
Grow up. I want to be Johnny.
Y'all are too much.
Yes, I know. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been wonderful. We're going to be going into the final episodes of the season, getting ready for the holiday. So be on the lookout for next Monday. We're going to have some fun leading up to the holiday and have a fun little holiday special commercial for you guys. And we're going to play around while we're off and be set for season 2, guys. Season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2. Just know that we played around this season and really stayed focused on trying to drill on motivation. Season 2, we're coming off the rails, guys. We gonna have a lot of fun and we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, and we're gonna do so from the lens of understanding that we're gonna try to motivate you through our messages. All right. So that's the word. We're gonna be motivating you with our messages. Our messages are gonna be across the board. We've had fun with motivation. We're gonna keep motivating you, but our topics and subject matter are gonna meet you guys where you are. So looking forward to it. That's right. I know Fluff got that stuff. I couldn't help it.
Stuff. Let's go.
All right. And with that, guys, we're gonna bid you a night. And I'm gonna tell you, you don't have to leave here. You do need to go to YouTube and like and subscribe and all those other things. But until the next time, you can just chill until the next episode. Have a good night, guys.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.